Hello and welcome to another Baggie Brothers video. We're very, very fortunate once again to be speaking to an ex-West Brom player, and today we are joined by ex-West Brom player and Republic of Ireland international Simon Cox. Simon, thank you for joining us.
No problem. How are you?
Yeah, doing really well, thank you. Obviously, you spent 3 years with us from 09 to 012, or 09 to 012, 09 to 12. And you're currently down in Australia in the A-League playing for Western Sydney Wanderers with Graham Dorrans as well. First off, obviously, how's life going down in Australia? How's the season going? It looks like you're doing okay.
Yeah. We've started off quite nicely. We're in fourth at the minute, but teams above us have played one extra game. So if we win our game in hand, we move up to third. So that's good. The things down here are really good right now. Weather's not too great outside at the minute, but it's better times than they are in the UK. So I can't complain too much.
I cannot blame you for 1 second moving there, even if it was just for the weather, just to be
absolutely
sunnier all the time. Why not? Might as well.
Absolutely. Why not?
Let's get into it then. So how was your time at the Hawthorns overall?
Yeah, do you know what? It was a club that I really enjoyed thoroughly. Actually, was completely different to the club that I was at previous. Obviously, I was at Swindon. That was, the stadium at the county ground was a little bit battered and bruised, if you can call that. And then you get the glitz and glamour, the shiny new, well, not new, but not newer than the county ground, the Hawthorns, and the training ground was completely something that I'd never seen before. So, I walked in my first day and I was in awe of where I was. Obviously, a club that had just been, relegated from the Premier League, but knew exactly where they wanted to be, which was back in the Premier League, and I was there to hopefully help the club and the team be successful and get back there.
Which obviously you managed, because obviously you were there. You were in the Championship for 1 and then Prem for 2 years with us, which was great. So was there that much of a drastic change going from, because what league were they in? League One at the time, or were they Championship as well, Swindon?
No, League One at the time, struggling a little bit as well. So it was just a completely different. Obviously, size of club is one, but everything around it, facilities, even going from things to like travel and hotels and the team bus and all that sort of stuff. It just stunk of what West Brom should be, which is a Premier League club, and all the sort of good things that you get from being with a Premier League club. So it was one of those that I couldn't turn down, and I was thankful that I got an opportunity to play with some really good players.
Definitely, which we'll be getting into hopefully a little bit. What were some of your favourite moments in an Albion shirt then?
Well, obviously, first and foremost, making your debut, that's always a good start. Purely and simply, I'd never played at the Championship before, so it was an opportunity for me to try and forecast my way into a team and get regular football in a Championship side. So that was first and foremost. Then obviously going to I scored a hat-trick in the game against Cardiff in the FA Cup, so that's obviously stands out quite nicely. Then I guess making your Premier League debut and then scoring your one and only Premier League goal, which is not a bad goal, but yeah, to help the team survive in the Premier League as well. I mean, I've got some really good memories of my time at West Brom.
Yes. Yeah, so talking about those goals, which one was your favourite for West Brom?
I mean, it's tough. I think my second against Cardiff in the for the hat trick was a nice goal off the post and in. But I think the Spurs one obviously will stand out for a lot of people, especially it stands out for me purely and simply. We got a draw, and I think that got us to 40 points as well, which made us basically safe for the following season as well, which but that one will always stand out more, a little bit more special for me, purely and simply it's my one and only. So
it's
I'll
more
put
goals
that
than
up
we've
there.
got in the Prem. So
everyone says that to me as well. So that's nice.
Yeah, it's a great accolade to have.
Yeah.
We all wish we could do it. So you've
absolutely. Well. I wish I could have done it a lot more, to be honest.
Who were so obviously we're going to get into your best West Brom 11 in a moment. Who were some of the kind of the characters around the club then for you? Who were kind of like your, I suppose, kind of your best mates around the team? Who were some of the funnest guys to sort of hang out with?
Well, I mostly I play a lot of golf, so I played a lot of golf with James Morrison. So we sort of went out a lot together down at the Belfry, which was nice. And then but people like Scott Carson was always a bit of a joker in and around the dressing room. I love Big Jonas. I loved him. I thought he was like the biggest. I mean, he was horrible to play against in training. He kicked lumps of crap out of you every day in training just to say that he could. But obviously, that one of the most gentlest guys in the world as well off the pitch. So he was a nice guy. And then you look into like Jerome Thomas's and stuff like that, and it was I mean, I had some good friends while I was there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Should we go into the best 11 then?
Yeah, let's jump into that best 11. Have you got a formation in mind for this team, or are we kind of winging it?
No. I'll go through. I would imagine it would end up being maybe a 4-2-3-1, possibly.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll start off with Carson in goal, because he was the pretty much the only one apart from him and Dean Kiley and Boaz. But Carson was always the one who was probably in nets when I was there. Left back, obviously he was the left back when we got promoted. So Joe Matip was the left back at the time, and Gianni was right back. So I put both of those in. Both of those were both animals going up and down the flanks when I was there. Got to throw Big Jonas in there as well.
Will be done.
But then I'm going to throw. Yeah, he has to go in. Yeah. Absolute stonewall for West Brom, and absolute colossus. But I'm going to throw Stephen Reed in there as well as a centre half.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Purely and simply, like he was one when he came to West Brom. He was probably not. He was at the ripe old age of like 31, 32 or so, but he played in the Premier League for a long time, but knew exactly what he needed to do day in, day out to get himself out on the pitch, and he was a proper player as well. He could pass the ball, he could organise, he was hard, he was and he was just a top guy as well. So he would go in. Then I'd go in. My two sitters would be Yusuf Olumbu, obviously. Yeah. Listen, like what he did that season, and even the first season back in the Premier League, he was unbelievable. And I'm gonna throw a little strange one in there. Actually, he's probably one of the better players I've ever played with, but never really probably got a chance at West Brom. Was Borja Valera.
Oh right. Okay.
You know what? It's so interesting you say that, because obviously we sit and like when we're trying to find people, we'll look at like, okay, who played for the club, and obviously certain names jump out, but his name obviously is in there, and I keep forgetting that he played for us.
Yeah,
but because he's obviously
that's the thing, like, so he never really hit the heights of what he could do, or probably never really got the chance to do what he needed to do when he was at West Brom. But then you see what he's gone on to do, and I mean, I don't know if he's still at Inter Milan now, but I mean, he was at Inter. He's gone all around Spain. I think I remember talking to Dan Ashworth once, and he said that when did he go to Villarreal? I think it was, and I think he had the best stats outside of Messi and Ronaldo. Yeah. And you just think that's incredible. Like that he was never really given that opportunity with West Brom. So I'd throw him in there just as a bit of a conductor as well. Then you get into the three across the in front of them, and you'd play Jerome Thomas who, especially that championship season, was incredible. Then his first season back in the Premier League, well, he obviously the famous thing of him retiring Gary Neville. So that's always a nice thing to have. Yeah, that's it. So he would go in there. Then I'd go into Dozer, and rightly so. What he did in that championship season, basically single-handedly, pretty much got us promoted. 20 odd goals.
He was unbelievable that season, wasn't he?
Incredible! Everything he hit. Even when we were 1-0 down, we'd come up with something. I think I remember one of his best games was Derby away, and people were kicking lumps out of him, and I think it was a 90-odd minute winner that he got from about 30 yards out that he somehow snuck it in the top corner. But he was unbelievable that season.
You have to put him in because he's in your team now as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
playing with him.
Yeah, exactly. Because if he watches this, then he'll be giving me a kick as well.
Training's going to get hard.
So yeah, exactly. So, but then I'd throw Jimmy in there as well, James Morrison. I just think he consistency wise will always pop up with a goal, but ultimately energy and calmness on the ball, but can grab you a goal, and just a proper consistent player in there as well. And then it's a tough one up front, because I played with Chris Wood, played with Luke Moore, I played with Ishmael Miller for a few games, played with Roman, and played with Peter Odemwingie as well. Shane Long was in there as well. I mean, I'm gonna put Peter Odemwingie up there purely and simply. Again, his goals in the Premier League was one of the reasons why we stayed up.
That's the only reason he needs to be in the team for.
That's it.
That's celebration.
And I love that, because I'm the one who handed him the ball for the goal against his third. So I always get in the photo, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just incredible. Right foot, left foot. He worked his socks off, and he was just an all-round top striker. So that would be my 11.
That's a pretty solid team. I would say you're the first ex-player we've spoken to that didn't put themselves in.
I don't think I get in that team, man. That's a problem.
You could be. You're the 12th man. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'll come on first sub. First sub. We'll call it first sub.
Here's a slight curveball. Obviously, you had a couple of managers. You had Roberto Di Matteo and Roy Hodgson. If you had to pick one of those guys to be in charge of this best 11, who would you pick?
I'd probably pick Roy, purely and simply. I think he'd get us organised. But then because you've got Yusuf and Borja in there, I think you're pretty solid, and you'd be able to keep, like, Yusuf would just mop up everything and then hand it over to everybody else. And you got two lads up and down on the fullback positions. You can get up and down, but we'd be pretty solid defensively. So I'd probably say Roy.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Thank you very much for speaking to us today, Simon. Really appreciate it. Obviously, it's maybe a bit of an, I'd say it's an early start. It would be an early start for me.
That's right.
Waking up at your time. But appreciate you sparing some time to speak to us.
No problem.
If you've enjoyed that video, please click the subscribe button and the like button, because those things help us out. And we'll put all our socials on the page. Where's the best place for people to find you online? Would be Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. scoxy31.
Nice. We'll put a link on there as well. Awesome.
Perfect.
If that's all that, thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next time.
Cheers, guys.